I'm unapologetically black. I have to take care of the tribe first. I cannot sit here and watch. This is my blood family. How you think I'm gonna be? I can't worry about nothing else. I love everybody. But right now, I gotta make moves and I gotta use my power for the advancement of black people because we last.
160 years. Yeah, you heard that right. 160. That's the prison sentence Sean Diddy Combs just got slammed with. And this isn't one of those celebrity cases that disappears after a month. But make no mistake, this wasn't about a one-time mistake or some scandal gone too far. This was about years of build-up. Whispers behind closed doors, sealed lawsuits, backroom settlements, and survivor stories that were ignored for way too long. What happened in that courtroom was the final blow to a slow-burning fuse. And when it took down more than just Diddy's reputation, his legal team tried everything. They were begging for 5, maybe 10 years max. At one point, they even floated the idea of a plea deal. Word is Diddy might have been ready to trade secrets, pull others into the light, expose the inner circle that helped keep this all hidden for so long. That didn't fly with the judge or the jury or the survivors because this case wasn't just about what Diddy did. It was about how far he was willing to go to stay untouchable. The stories that came out weren't rumors anymore. So yeah, this isn't just about one man's fall. This could be the start of something bigger. Something that makes the whole industry squirm. Let's start with the moment that left the courtroom in complete silence. The gavel drop heard around the world.
We got some information. We broke this story a couple hours ago. Diddy is behind bars, but he is enrolled in 2 classes in jail. A class for drugs and one for
domestic violence. These are programs that are offered by the federal government in the prison system for inmates, and he is enrolled in both of these programs. He's also, we're told, in therapy separate from those 2 programs. And all of these things that he's doing, typically for one reason, to look good for the judge.
Well, it's important because sentencing comes up October 3rd.
When Judge Arun Subramanian handed down the 160-year sentence, the entire courtroom went still. But this wasn't some theatrical moment for headlines. This was real. The judge wasn't making a statement just to get attention. He was drawing a hard line in his own words. Diddy was labeled a danger to society. And he said it straight to Diddy's face. Now here's where it gets even more serious. The 160 years didn't come from the biggest sounding charges. He wasn't found guilty of racketeering or trafficking, but he was found guilty of 2 Mann Act violations alone. Each one could have meant 10 years. But when you add in the enhancements, obstruction, witness intimidation, past settlements, the broader scope of what prosecutors called commercial coercion, the sentence grew. It wasn't just about legal terms. It was about impact. The judge saw someone who spent decades dodging accountability, weaponizing wealth, and manipulating silence. And this time the system decided enough was enough. But before we get into how the sentence landed, we need to talk about the deal that almost saved him. His legal team didn't walk in expecting 160 years. Behind the scenes, they were pushing hard for a deal. 5 years, maybe 10 max. They argued that his past was complicated, that his current life didn't reflect those old accusations. They tried spinning him as someone surrounded by the wrong people who made mistakes but didn't deserve to be buried alive by the system. And for a moment, it looked like there might be room for negotiation. Sources close to the case said his team was floating the idea of cooperation. There were whispers that Diddy might be willing to name names, people from inside the music industry, executives, bodyguards, even celebrities who allegedly helped him or looked the other way. There was talk that he'd flip to protect himself, offer names of people tied to the freak-off parties, people with just as much to lose. It sounded desperate, but it was real. The kind of backroom bargaining that happens when someone powerful is cornered. But here's the thing, the judge and jury didn't go for it. Prosecutors didn't either. They didn't want to hear deals. They wanted consequences. They had the evidence. They had the witnesses. And by that point they had public trust behind them. And that's when it all blew wide open because someone Diddy trusted stepped up and lit the fuse. Cassie Ventura was one of the most important people in the courtroom. Her role wasn't just emotional. And let's not ignore the detail everyone kept talking about. She showed up to testify 9 months pregnant. That visual alone said more than words ever could. But she wasn't just there for sympathy. She was focused. Her testimony wasn't just a retelling of what happened to her. It was a breakdown of Diddy's entire system. She talked about how he used control, surveillance, and emotional threats. And yes, she described the infamous freak-off rituals, the hotel setups, the baby oil, the roles people were forced to play. She didn't flinch. The jury leaned in. Now, rewind to late 2023 when Cassie filed that civil lawsuit. It settled in under 24 hours. People said it was hush money, but now it looks more like a setup, a first move in a much larger plan. According to one insider, that testimony was the real checkmate. The civil case might have opened the door, but her court appearance slammed it shut. Legal analysts say her testimony didn't just support the prosecution.